Hi, again, I'm Terry Bradshaw, and today was my first experience at the Refugee Center, actually volunteering and being hands on. I had a really good time being there, and it felt really great to be able to give back in that way and spend some time with the refugees because they truly value it. We got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing that we did when we got there was we kind of picked which jobs we want to do for the day, who wants to do what. We have a choice between helping serve breakfast, um, going to the distribution center and helping give them the things that they need, and also you could do English teaching, which is really cool as well. And then there were a few people who walked around and just made sure everything stayed afloat and that everybody was doing okay and checked on people and stuff and talked. I was able to work in the distribution center, but first things first, we got to watch everybody grab their breakfast and just see how they interact with each other. And that was a really exciting experience for me because you have some people that are aggressive, and then you have some people that are just super kind, and it's just a great mix of people. And what you realize immediately is they're just people, literally, they're just like us. They look like just a group of us, literally just standing around and talking and getting to know each other and making friends. And they want to talk to you and they want to tell you about not just their experience, not just the hard times in their lives, but they want to tell you what instrument they play. They want to talk to you about their favorite bands. They want you to sit down and teach each other different languages because everybody's speaking so many languages. And I think that was my favorite part of the entire experience. Early, I got to talk to Rakeem before we really started working, and I made a Facebook post yesterday about how much I miss my family and friends. And Rakeem was just talking to me, and he was asking me how I was doing, if I was okay, and I realized it had been a while since anybody asked me if I was okay. And we're talking about family, and we're talking about these things, and he reminds me that he hasn't seen his family in 8 years, and that he won't see them again. And I've never heard his story from him, but I could see how hurt he was. And his point was just to remind me that though I'm not with my family right now, I have a family here, and that he's my family, and my professor Jen is my family, and the students here are my family, and the refugees are my family. And he goes on to remind me, I'm your brother, so don't ever be sad that you have me here. And it was just so extremely comforting to know that I can talk to Rakeem and that he would be there, and he really does feel like a family. It's really starting to feel so close and so great. And it's probably again another one of the best parts of this experience. So for breakfast, everybody got a hard-boiled egg, a green apple, and some tea. And then after that, you have from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock to get to the distribution center to get the things you need, and everybody has a number. So I was working in the center with Han, and Han was amazing in teaching us the method and talking to us about how things work and about being firm when the refugees ask us for certain things. And there were points where we actually had to tell people no. Now, telling people no was extremely hard for me because these people are in need, and the stuff they're asking you for, they actually really need. It's stuff like toothpaste or clothing or socks and underwear and all this stuff, and you just want to give everybody everything you can. So being in the center, you have to learn the method, and everybody has these green cards, and these cards tell you what they've already received for the month and what else they can get. So everybody gets a pair of shoes a month and 8 clothing items, 2 pair of underwear, 2 pair of socks, 2 toothbrushes. And each person comes in and they'll have certain things checked off. That means they already have it. And then they'll have other things that are open, which means you can give it to them. And some people didn't really understand the card, so it was a lot of trouble with telling people, if someone picked up underwear and they've already got 2 this month, you have to tell them, no, you can't get underwear. Do you want to get, you offer them something else that they can get. And at first, it's you don't understand. I didn't get why I couldn't just give these people everything. And I had to, explain to me, if I gave every person that came in here everything they asked me for, everything they wanted or needed, what would I have to give everybody else? It has to be a method. It has to be fair. and we want to help as many people as we can. So it was important for us to be able to be stricter and say no to certain people at certain times than it was to just be super kind and give it all out. Because there were like about 50 people that we saw or more, and we wanted to be able to make sure everybody left with something. It was kind of sad because some parts, like toothpaste, we only have 2 tubes. So when they come in, we can only put toothpaste on their toothbrush, and they can only get that much for the day, and that's what they have. And that was really hard for me because we don't really have those kinds of problems, and we don't always appreciate something as small as a $3 tube of toothpaste. Han was very stressed out about his job because he can relate to these people, and he's like, I have to tell basically my friends, my brothers, and people I'm close to know every day, and that's my job, and I understand why I have to do it because I want everybody to have something. He also explained to us that in the past few weeks or months, funding has been lower, so they don't have the things they used to have, so the refugees have been a little confused, a little upset because they're not allowed to get the stuff they used to be able to get. And it just hit me that, like, again, things can just be taken away from them at any given moment. They would come in and they would have a bigger selection of clothes or more underwear, more socks to choose from, and all this stuff. And right now, because funding has been cut somewhere and somebody's budget, it falls back on them and them having to go without. And it's just a super sad thing to know, like, and when you want to help and you want to give more, like we're all trying to bring in underwear, we want to bring in socks, we want to do all these things, and you still realize like these things won't last. And so it's just like you always want to do more. On the lighter side, it was just so great to be able to talk to everybody and get to know them. People were so excited just to be able to have a conversation. I had so much fun talking to everybody, even those that don't speak English at all, and especially those that do, getting to know them. Just like Han was telling us a lot about his life and the things that he does and what he does in his spare time and all of that. And it was just a fun conversation, and you could just tell that they were so happy to have people that wanted to listen to them. I do feel like it's a little harder for them because there are always so many different volunteers and people come and then they go, and so they don't really get to stay close with everybody. I'm glad that we get to be here for a month and a half, and I realize that's not forever, but in this month and a half, I hope to make as much of a difference in their lives as they've already made in mine. I can tell I'm a lot more humble for this experience. I'm so grateful for everything that I have, and I can't imagine what more I'm going to be able to take from this. Thank you.